Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Boys Unknown.
Today we're doing the most unorganized review Halo's ever seen. Most people, type up a script for months and, comb over every aspect of the game. But what the boys like to do is we like to play the game and then we like to shoot shit about it.
Yeah, boys, this is all off the top of our heads, just rambling. And I'd just like to say, don't let any YouTuber out there, including us, change your opinion on the game. If you really liked this game, if this was your favorite Halo game, good. And if this was your least favorite Halo game, that's fine as well. Everyone experiences it differently and has their own feelings about it, and maybe the time where you entered Halo and started playing, maybe your age, maybe I don't know, there's so many factors that play into how you rate your own Halo games. These are just our opinions and how we feel about Halo Infinite. So I hope you stick around and just listen to what we have to say. First, let's quickly just go over the last Halos, like all their campaigns, and quickly rank them how you would rank their campaigns, just to give the viewer a perspective of where you're coming from. I go Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo Reach and ODST tied, then Halo 1, and then 4 and 5 are just off, not even on the chart. They're dog shit. Now, what's your rankings?
Mine's like the same. I mean, I put Reach above ODST. That's all I changed, probably. I just swap Reach and ODST.
Yeah, for sure. I'm more saying they're kind of the same level. We're going to start right off the bat with what we liked. Start off, I liked the soundtrack. I like how it went back to its roots. It gave us hints of like Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 1. I mean, the very ending when that Halo 2 note plays. Oh, by the way, spoilers in this review. That note, the Halo 2 theme that plays at the very end of the campaign, like, I loved it.
All right, here we go. Get ready.
The soundtrack sounded great. It's never gonna beat Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo Reach, like any of Marty's stuff, but it was the next closest thing. It was very good.
To go on the note of like bringing it back to older games kind of thing, like the art style is perfect. Really, it's beautiful. A really beautiful game. Some of the like explosions in the game are maybe some of the worst explosions I've ever seen in a first-person shooter, like the Xbox 360 level explosions. The part after you fight that guy and you fight the phantoms, the explosions for those, it makes your whole screen white so you don't see the explosion because there's no explosion animation. Yeah. It's so weird.
No, the explosions are.
That was just a really specific thing. But other than that, the game looks pretty good.
Yeah, hey, let's stay on the good here. Art style.
This is good. This is good. Art style's good. We're talking about good stuff. This is a positive video.
I thought the campaign was a good length.
Yeah, I thought it was a good length. If you look at other like Halo games, they're not too long. For a Halo game, it was a good length. Gameplay loop was very nice, and the sandbox is extremely fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. Like, I enjoyed my time despite it being so repetitive. We're gonna get into that, but the gameplay itself is super fun. Like, some of the best in the series.
Yeah, the straight up just fighting guys, like with the grapple hook especially, is a blast. Now, I don't know about the other equipment because it's so hard to change it. Now, we're gonna stay positive, but the grappling hook is amazing. Like, I don't even know how I'm gonna play older games without the grappling hook now. It's almost ruined me.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the equipment is awesome. It is really fun to use all of
it. Yeah, you mean the grappling hook is awesome, yeah.
No, I like the other equipment too. I know you don't, but I actually enjoyed the other equipment too.
I would have enjoyed them more if I could quick more efficiently through between them.
Well, we're gonna get into that in the bad part. A lot of these goods have kind of like a bad attached to it.
Asterisk. I like the being able to just like kind of explore the ring for the first half of the game. The first 6 hours of exploring the ring is a blast.
I liked how they did Chief, and I liked how they did the weapon.
The Chief and the weapon are great.
I liked their chemistry.
And I thought the dialogue, the banter was good between the two.
Yeah, I liked those two. The girl has charisma. I like her. She's got something to her. I mean, the voice acting she did for Cortana, that lady, Ann Halsey. Yeah. I mean, that's really impressive. Bravo, well done to the voice actors. And Chief is just...
This is like one of the best Chiefs.
I mean, that guy has been smoking more cigarettes than ever because his voice is just beep. It's fucking sick.
And we got Chief. He's nice and beefy. It's just an all-around solid Master Chief.
The Marines are great. I'm gonna say enemy dialogue is just as good. The enemies, the grunts, the jackal, like everything they say, very, very good.
Voice acting across the board, amazing. The propaganda towers might be my favorite part of the open world. In the open world, I know, like they say, the open world is cool to explore for 6 hours. I like the assassination missions and like the fobs and like spawning vehicles and spawning weapons.
Yeah, I liked it until I realized every single one was a exact same.
Everyone's the exact same, and there's nothing different.
Okay, we're still in the good section.
We're still in the positive section. I mean, as a Halo fan, as a longtime Halo fan, playing this, honestly, it gave me some nostalgia. I had some laughs, like some laugh out loud moments. I had some emotional moments. Now, I don't mean that I was crying about the legendary ending. As a longtime Halo fan, like, I think every longtime Halo fan has to play this game, and it's just a nice evolution of Halo.
Yeah, I felt like I was almost playing an expanded version of Halo 2. I don't know why I keep saying that, but like for some reason it took me back to like
there's a lot of Bruce
Halo
in
2 for some reason. Yeah, just like the art style of the Forerunner stuff is just gorgeous. It feels pretty classic, and I definitely enjoyed my time.
I definitely had a blast.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say this is 343's best campaign.
Which, I mean, is that saying something? Is that a compliment? Kind of, not really. I don't know if this is a good or negative, but like the first half of the campaign was way more fun for me. But I think that speaks like how things kind of get repetitive. The boss battles were better than I thought they'd be. You know, some of them are good and some of them are bad.
But yeah, the boss battles are like, I'm like 50-50 on them. Like, I had fun doing them.
They were hit or miss. Some of them were really awesome, but like the Sworded Invisible Elite stuff.
But some of them were just like, it's pretty much just shoot to them a bit longer than any other. It's just an enemy with a little extra health. The one Elite, I had a really tough time with. You said you did it no problem, but the guy who goes invisible and sprints at you, he was f***ing me up.
All the different enemies this time around were all fun to fight. There was no bullshit Forerunners, which I thought was absolutely amazing.
The mission objectives are really repetitive, but the gameplay loop and the enemies, that like they make it so fun that they almost make those
it almost negates it in a way,
a little bit unique. Yeah, like it counteracts it. That's why like this whole game, Halo Infinite, in a whole, even the multiplayer, everything else, it's like you get a good thing, but then you get a bad thing with it. I like how many collectibles there are, and it's nice to have extra things and things to find.
I like the weapons sandbox is fun. It's pretty good.
I think it's fun too. I think it's good.
Lots of new stuff. It's a good Halo game.
It is a good game.
It feels super Halo. It was a breath of fresh air coming from the last two titles.
It looks, it tastes, it feels, it smells, it sounds like Halo. It is a Halo.
The cutscenes are really cool.
Oh, cutscenes are beautiful.
First-person cutscenes, transitioning.
Yeah.
Escharum is amazing too. We're talking about like good voice actors. I mean, Chief, the weapon voice actor / Cortana, and Escharum. And then the Harbinger, her mouth made me uncomfortable. Her little weird fish mouth.
I don't know if you know anything about lore, but I hope she is somehow like a precursor person. Like, I hope that's what the Endless are. I hope they're not a whole new faction. I hope they're a precursor person. Yeah, I didn't mind her.
I didn't mind her banter with Escharum.
You don't really see that much of her, but you can definitely from this game like start making theories and stuff. And I will say this is the first campaign in a while where as soon as I finished it, I was like, oh, I want to go play that again. I'm gonna go play that again. Let's get into the nitty gritty negative. It just feels unfinished, just like the rest of the game. It feels like they made this in less than a year. There's not one biome in here. There's no deserts, no snow, no nothing. It's just all of the exact same. The missions are the exact same. It's always hit a switch, destroy these pylons, put Cortana on a mantle. Occasionally a boss fight happens. Every single mission is like that. The side missions, I stopped doing them a couple hours into the game because it's like, these are the exact same thing. This is not fun. This is a grind at this point.
And then you start thinking about games like Halo 3 and the diversity in the missions and everything. Point for me where the campaign, just going area, kill these guys, hit buttons, like no diversity in the side missions, is when like you have to go to like the 3 different towers, go in and hit a button on each tower and put her on the mantle and have her like give you some, feed you some, exposition or whatever. That was part of the game where I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna kind of speed grapple the game because I'm kind of just want to see what happens with the story.
Yeah, you made it farther than me. I made it to where you're at I think it's conservatory or something. They're shooting the laser gun into the rocks. And at that point,
really?
I was
That's real early. That's really early.
Yeah, that was really, I know,
that was
man.
real early in the game.
You have the exact same mission and the exact same scenery over and over.
You almost don't need to do the side missions at all because you get the same experience out of the main campaign that you do from the side missions.
Exactly.
I'm going to get into the side quests specifically. So you have basically 3 different kinds. You have like the rescue the Marines, which I'm going to get into, the assassination ones, and FOB captures. And sorry, there's 4, I guess. And then like the mini like areas that are basically like campaign missions, right? Like the larger bases, which every one of those is kind of expose something and break it or like hit buttons.
I started ignoring all of them because they were just the exact same.
Yeah, because it was just like story missions without story. So the assassination missions were cool at first until I realized it's the same. You go and fight a group of enemies. So after a while, they kind of felt like a chore almost to do. The Save the Marines missions are actually like a joke. It's just all go there, fight guys, maybe there's like a second round of guys, and then that's it. There's 2 of those that are on like a separate little island, and once you save the Marines, you can't even bring them with you into battle.
They're tuned too, so as soon as you step out of the vehicle, they hop out too, and there was times where it's like, of course I gotta go hit a switch, because that's this whole game, is just hit a switch. So I hop out to go hit a switch, and I want to drive around with these guys. They all hop out, and then I'm like, now I gotta get them back in. And then you sit there,
and you honk the horn. They're fun to like load them up in a scout hog, and just give them all kind of fun guns, and have them just dummy stuff. But outside of that, I mean, the Marines are they're just a joke.
I was also very disappointed we didn't get some sort of like, I know there was boss battles, but the big boss battles, like a scarab or something, you know, like that was always so fun. It's just, you had a scarab that was just walking around free roam kind of in this little area, and it's all up to you how you take it down. There's so many different ways you can take it down, and it's just a big event. The explosion looks great. It's just a super cool moment. It's like a boss battle pretty much. None of that.
And then I want to talk about the fobs a bit. So like the thing with the fobs is cool. You can spawn in your own guns, and you know, you can take in any gun you want into battle. This is another thing that made the open world exploration almost pointless for me, is that once you get like a couple of guns that you like to take into every battle, like I was just spawning in a sniper, either the commando or like the sniper and like one other gun, and pretty much every time
I just a sniper and rockets every time.
Yeah, exactly. Every time everyone had their set thing that they take into battle. So if you do that, like, so I do a fob, I get my sniper, my thing, and I'm going to my main mission now. There was times where I'd go off path, maybe grab a locker, you know, to get the meaningless emblem, but I'd go off the way to the locker, and there was a sniper there, and that would be really cool if I couldn't spawn in guns. But because I can't spawn in guns, the sniper is meaningless to me. And so is like all those little cool little spots where there's like some marine stuff and like little stuff. There's guns there, and that would be so much cooler if you couldn't spawn in guns. So spawn in guns adds to like the sandbox value, but it also makes the open world even more pointless in my opinion.
The T rating ruined my immersion so many times, because you know, you go to these camps and it's like they got like all the marine armor like set up, and it was like, oh, they definitely killed some marines or tortured them or did something here, and like there's not a single drop of blood or anything like that. It's just some nice helmet set up, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, right, I'm in a kid's game now, you know, like I just wanted a little bit more blood or just something. It doesn't have to be Gears of War chainsawing people in half, but you know, just a little bit to give me a little bit more immersion.
Do you want to get into the story element? Well, I want to segue right into where the T14 hurt in the story. That one part where the pilot's getting tortured, it's all like, oh, he's tortured me, he's killing me, and then you see him and his character model is completely the same. Like they didn't even like scratch up his clothes or nothing. Oh no, he's in the torture device that perfectly doesn't show any kind of wounds. It just internally tortures them. Like it's like, oh, that's so scary. Like, oh, I'm so worried for the pilot. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that was so weird.
Yeah, he's in the little gravity thing. It's like, ooh, God, that looks bad.
That, like, you know, made all the, all the bosses just feel like, you know, like a kid's show boss. That my only not that I just want, I want to see blood because blood's cool. It's just that you're going for like, oh, this is the torture house, and there's nothing torture in here. Like, there's nothing torture related in here.
It's
you know
not
what I mean?
even close.
Like, it's like, dude, are these guys like these? They're supposed to be these like hardened, crazy animals that will do anything, like eat people, and then you have like the T rating that like brings it back. So they're trying, like, it's confusing.
I thought the story was good, but it doesn't really accomplish anything. It's almost as if they were just screwed over from Halo 5 so much, because that story was terrible, that they had to find a way to wrap up Halo 5 but also start a new story. And they kind of wrap up the Halo 5 one, but it's like they kind of just gloss over half the shit. Like, it's like, I don't even know what happened to the Prometheans and all the other crap that was going on. And then, like, the Endless thing, just nothing gets solved there, or like nothing happens there. You're just kind of teased, like, oh, the Banished are looking for something. Oh, they're looking for something. Oh, they're looking for something.
Yeah.
And the whole game, and then it gets to the end, and it's just like, they're looking for something. They never tell you what it is, or they, like, there's nothing that really happens other than Cortana says she's sorry, and she says, you two will be perfect together. You're the new me. Fix my mistakes. That was really the only story to me that was really told. Escharum just giving really long speeches constantly, like, rah, rah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you, Master
am
Chief.
bad.
It feels like this is like the second movie of like a trilogy, but like the second movie is made to be not a full complete movie, where it's just a middle part of the major, like, larger trilogy story, I guess. I know it's not a trilogy, but that's what it feels like. It's like just kind of a middle thing. I mean, the game starts off, I mean, could we at least get a little bit of a recap? I mean, they're adding shit in
I
from...
would have liked a recap.
And I don't know how many FPS players played Halo Wars 2, so like just to have like such a major guy could be in, like, when you first see Atronox, if you don't play the other game, I don't know who the he is. Like, who the is this guy? How'd Master Chief, how'd he get on the Infinity? Yeah, I don't know. I just think maybe a little recap in the beginning, although the intro cutscene was sick. Maybe just a little quick recap or something. I don't know.
You only see like 2 enemy wraiths in the whole game, I think, or like 3.
That was
That
another
also
thing
kind of,
I was gonna say.
like,
Like,
wowed me.
there's really only one part where there's like kind of a warthog runny kind of part, but like it's with a tank or like a tank run. And then in the open world, like you want to use vehicles, but as soon as you go off like the main kind of road, like vehicles are almost completely useless because the terrain is so like not friendly to vehicles. Unlike other like games, like where the vehicle levels, like you just have tons of wide spaces to drive around with. So I mean, I don't know, miss kind of like the vehicle battles. And then, you know, the Banshee is just so bad. I didn't use the Wasp at all during the main campaign, but then the Banshees, dude, were so bad. You can't even fight with them. They're so bad. Like, they're just shit.
Oh yeah, so also no replayable missions. I mean, we all know that, and that's...
They said they're going to patch that in, which is nice.
It is annoying that it's not here now, but at least it's coming.
The characters specifically, like, we talked about, like, the good... Well, like, Escharum was a good voice actor, and, like let's, like, specifically, like, the characters, like, arcs. You basically have, in my opinion, this game has 3 characters that matter. It's Escharum, Chief, and the weapon. I mean, I guess, and then you have like the secondary characters, but like all the boss battles, you kind of meet them and then kill them immediately. Like, it's like, oh, this is the boss. Oh, and then he's dead. Like, so like you don't really care about him too much.
Yeah, like I didn't even know half their names. No, I didn't care about one of them.
Like, the pilot's character is so poorly written. It's just like, I want to go home. I miss my family or something. Or just, I want to go home. We're all going to die.
But the thing is, at the end, I was kind of like, hey, what happened to your family? You mentioned them... You talk about them once at the beginning of the game, or see them once, and then just completely forget about them the rest of the game, and then you're just like, all right, Chief, let's finish this. I guess you don't care about your kid anymore.
Yeah, even the part where, like, the Spartan killer guy with, like, the 2 swords, when he has that, like, little beacon of his, it's supposed to be, like, a dramatic moment, like, oh, no, he's got him. Like, I'm like, dude, he doesn't give a about his family anyway. He gives a about the pilot. Like,
yeah. Also, I was like, you know what? He's going to be right behind that wall in a stupid gravity thing. That guy's fine.
He's gonna be in the thing.
He's not getting touched right now.
Yeah.
Overall, closing thoughts. I thought this was a good Halo campaign. I had fun playing it. It's nowhere near Halo 3, Halo 2. However, this is 343's best campaign, and I did enjoy it. My rating is like right in the middle. It's got good things to it, and it's got some really not so good things.
Yeah, I definitely had fun playing it as a Halo fan. I think it was, you know, it should have been the game that kind of came out after Halo 3, you know, what was it, Reach or whatever the last one was, like, but this should have came out instead of 4 and 5. We could have skipped 4 and 5.
Yeah, it should have been the sequel to 3.
And like, it was fun. Like, I don't want to sound like we absolutely hated it, like, because we're nitpicking like negative stuff. We're just talking specifically about stuff, but you know, it's a good game. It's a good Halo game, and had a lot of fun playing it. But that's pretty much the open world could have just maybe not been a thing. But I'm like I'm like stuck in between. Like, I want to love the open world, but it just kind of feels empty. And like the main story just kind of got repetitive after halfway, but I still like think it's fun, and I'll definitely be replaying it. But this, like, in a year, you know, this game could absolutely slap. I mean, DLC, I'm excited for DLC. I'm excited for more. Like, I want to play more, but hopefully more of not just hitting buttons, and maybe some different stuff would be good. It's definitely, I think, a little overhyped.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation type review. These were our thoughts on the campaign. Tell us what you think down below. Let us know. Did you absolutely love it? Did you hate it? Or were you in between? Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe.